Hi, and welcome back to our channel. Today, I want to talk to you about tips for having an interview ready resume. Interview ready resume. So, I have 5 tips that I would like to share with you. The first one be it that you must have a targeted resume. A targeted resume will ensure that the position that you're looking for or that you're applying to, the person on the other hand, the machine on the other hand that is receiving your resume will understand exactly what you're applying to, what you're looking for in a position. And a targeted resume honestly starts off with the title. What is the ideal position you are looking for? Whether it be an project management manager for IT, a program manager for cybersecurity. Make sure that it's detailed in your resume so that the person on the other hand is who is receiving your resume can understand exactly what position you are looking for. 2, include your accomplishments. Now, you can either have an accomplishments section in your resume or you can include your accomplishments in the work history section of your resume. But these accomplishments need to be measured accomplishments. What success have you brought to that particular position, organization? You don't necessarily need to say how you do it, but as long as you have some measure of success as your accomplishment, that is important. 3, make sure that your targeted resume has relevant positions. So if you are writing a resume for a help desk position, IT help desk position, make sure that your resume includes positions that all line up to help desk or maybe positions that lead up to a help desk position. Make sure you have information technology, everything in there if you get what I'm saying. But make sure that all the positions, projects, assignments, all are in alignment with the title, your targeted resume. 4, make sure that your resume is in the same format. So let's say, for instance, you have your work history outlined in your resume. If you start off that current or the present work history in bullet format, make sure all of the remaining work history that you highlight is in bullet format. And the same goes for paragraph format. Make sure everything is consistent. You do not want any inconsistencies in your targeted resume. The 5th, oh, and make sure that you have the same font. Make sure you have the same font. Typically, I tell clients that your font should be Times New Roman because it does not convert to another font when you are dealing with different document. Let's say, for instance, you write your resume in Microsoft Word, and someone with a Mac tablet or computer is reviewing your resume. The font won't mess up, if you will. It will be clear. But if you use different font that's not common with all readers, it can kind of make a bad impression, if you will, on your resume. So make sure your font is included. I typically tell folks Times New Roman, and your font size should be anywhere from 11 to 12, but I wouldn't go anywhere above 12 when you're dealing with your work history. Now, if your title of your resume, that can be bold font and maybe a size or two bigger than the rest of your page, but make sure that everything is consistent. And then lastly, the number 5 tip is make sure that you include the last 10 years of your work history. So let's say that you are a veteran and you served in the Army for 20 years. But you also, outside of the Army, have been a consultant for the last 10 years. So, what you would do on your resume is making sure that you highlight those last 10 years of work history. And then at the bottom of your work history, so your last 10-year, let's say 2009 work history, underneath that, you want to just simply state, and this is just maybe a bullet or what, however you format your resume. Make sure you have, retired, whatever, wherever you retired or discharged from the Army or other military, that you have there, that you spent 20 years, maybe from, and I'm just being hypothetical here, but 1976 to 1996 in the Army, and you retired or discharged at this E6 whatsoever, but you discharge at this. That way, folks will know, that you are a veteran, that you do have 20 plus years of work experience and the like. But outside of that, I typically tell folks, do not include work history more than 10 years ago. You want to make sure that your resume is quick and simple. Folks are saying that resume should be no more than 2 pages long. And if it is, typically it's because you have longer work history. So I would definitely suggest that you take out the work history that is more than 10 years ago. So again, just as a recap, make sure that one, you have a targeted resume. So make sure that you have a title in your resume that says exactly what position you're looking for. And not just those words. You don't necessarily have to have those words, but your resume could say Senior IT Project Manager. That is a targeted resume. And 2, include your accomplishments. 3, make sure that your resume has a relevant work history. So make sure your positions, your projects, your assignments all are relevant to your title. So if you are a Senior IT Project Manager, all of your work history needs to correlate to what the Senior IT Program or Project Manager is. 4, you need to make sure that you have the same format throughout your entire resume. And 5, make sure you include the last 10 years of work history. So I hope these tips are helpful for you as you start in looking for a job to suit your career needs. And I look forward to seeing you on the next career strategy session. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and you take care.